haven't been here for about a month, having issues with my computer and starting it up. But anyway, it's that time of year where the mazes start opening up, and we get to experience Fright Fest and Not Scary Farm and Horror Nights, and it's pretty exciting. I've done the three major ones in Southern California so far, and they're all great. Um, they're all different too, which is really cool. Uh, Universal, very well done this year. I feel they could have done better. I'm not gonna lie, but they did a pretty good job, I think. Especially with their new maze Halloween, that is phenomenal. Uh, that's by far the best maze I've ever been in. Uh, then there's Not Scary Farm, which actually is not scary, but it's really well themed, and it's really fun. I feel like that's more fun than scary. Uh, so yeah, there's that. Um, oh yeah, and then Infected. That was bad this year. That was like in some ways worse than last year. Like it's a cool. It's it's really cool how it works, but um, you it's really cool how it works, but it's not well put together. Like the way it operates this year. So what they do is they shut down uh, Camp Snoopy, their kids area, because who's gonna go in the kids area during Fright or Not Scary Farm? No one's gonna go in there. So what they do is they close it off. Um, they open up a maintenance or like a employee pathway underneath Montezuma, so you can get to the other side of the park without walking all the way around. But like in that area last year, what they did is they had two sides. So at the main entrance um, of Camp Snoopy, you could go in, and in the back by Montezuma, you could go in, uh, and that ran pretty well, I think. This year, I think what they decided to do is instead of having two different routes, they have just one big one, but it destroyed capacity. 12 people every 5 minutes went into Infected. That that is pretty much the only thing I can complain about. That and Dead of Winter were not well done. Dead of Winter was operated well. It just sucked. Not gonna lie, it just straight up sucked. Um, it was not scary, not well themed, just not what you would expect from Knox. Um, Other than that, everything else is perfect and brilliant. Um, it was great. And then there's Six Flags, Magic Mountain. Their Fright Fest. Ever since Aftermath opened, they've been trying to somewhat compete with Universal and Knott's. And I would say when Aftermath came out, it was a step in the right direction. Definitely not up to their level. Then they came out with. Then a few years later, they came out with Willoughby's Resurrected, which was another good step in the right direction. Still not good enough to surpass those two parks. Then last year they came out with Vault 666 and Red's Revenge, which turned the Six Flags Fright Fest like nationwide on its head because these mazes were as good as they are at Knott's and Universal. Those mazes are really well themed, really scary, and tell somewhat of a decent story. I'm not gonna say they're perfect. Universal is much better at the stories, but a lot of the stories seem to have inconsistencies and don't sound right sometimes. But overall, I would say pretty cool. Um, they're great. For me, I like Magic Mountains better than the two others, just because I feel they're the scariest. Not best themed, not best stories, but scariest. And I go for the scariness of it. Like I want the scary. Like I want to be. I go because it's scary, not because I want to be immersed in an environment, not because I want to hear a story. I go because I want to get scared. That's what I want in a maze, and I'm sure everyone is different and would rather see the higher quality mazes of Fairy Farm or Universal. Yet Magic Mountain has the smaller yet not as well themed mazes, like the smaller, not as well themed maze, but they are really scary. And I feel like they can do more at Six Flags. Not to mention their scare zones are fantastic. The scare zones are probably the best there. They're really good. Also, one I'm gonna try out. So I got the before I actually go on to that, I'm gonna say I did all of those, and for me, Magic Mountain is still the best. They're all really good, and they're all worth going to. Magic Mountain, I would lean towards for a few reasons: scarier and much cheaper. I can go multiple times. Um, it's great. I love that. I think more parks should start doing that. Allow season pass holders in and do a maze pass thing. That's really cool. Also, what I like about Magic is that they also, even though after 7 they start Fright Fest, they still have some stuff that seem very family oriented, not kid oriented, but at least family oriented. Like the scare zones aren't scary, but they're really cool, and I love it. I think they did a really good job, especially with Territory Twisted and Sinister Circuit. I think those are really cool. I am really disappointed that they took out Total Darkness. That really makes me disappointed. And I don't think it's as good as last year, but it's different and it's nice still. So yeah, I've done the sorry about that. So I've done the 3 major ones in SoCal, and I'm gonna finish off with Fright Dome, which is Adventure Dome in Las Vegas. I'm gonna finish off with that. That should be really fun. Can't wait to try that. Just trying to see comments and people watching. Okay. That's supposed to be, from what I've heard, it's one of the scariest attractions in America, like in the top 5 scariest. I don't know if they still do this, but I know they had bungee jumpers from the ceiling jump down onto the midway, which is really cool. And I don't know where they're fitting all these 5 maze stuff. So the other ones are shorter. Like they're longer for each post, but yeah, you get what I mean. But also I have a few vlogs on here of me actually walking around and doing live reviews on them. I don't have the Magic Mountain one up yet. That should go up probably tomorrow. So yeah, that will go up tomorrow. And people have been asking me about the home mazes that I made, the home haunt that I had. That was really cool. I built 3 mazes, if you could call half of them mazes. The one there's one that was upstairs, in my upstairs like loft, and that one was, I'm not gonna lie, pure crap. We didn't have enough tarp to finish it the way I wanted it to, because we used what we used to reduce costs. Instead of using plywood that we're just gonna take down like after 5 minutes, we use black plastic tarp and use push pins and hook them into the ceiling. They won't fall out if you have enough push pins in there, and it works really well. But the one upstairs that I built was bad. I had one in my bedroom, and that was kind of cool. I do have video of that one, and that will go up on YouTube probably tomorrow. And then I had one in my garage, which it was really good, really well done. That one will go up tomorrow also. So let me just see if there's any comments right now. Nope. I started a bit late, so people on the East Coast might not be watching right now. There's only like 2 people watching. that may have been a mistake to start it this late. But anyway, those of you who are watching, those two that are watching it, I'm going to end the podcast here. Thank you for watching, and I would suggest go out to if you're in SoCal, go to one of the SoCal parks. Which one would I recommend though? Depends what you like. If you want, each one is different. There's the storytelling one, which is Universal. They're all about the story more than anything else. If you want the story-based mazes, you want to go to Universal. If you want themed and environment themed, like immersive mazes, you want Knott's. If you want scary mazes, go to Magic. That's all I can say for that, and I would suggest going to your local or like your closest park to do their Fright Night or whatever they call it there, whichever park it is. It's might seem a little early for Halloween stuff, but it goes by fast. Trust me, it's already the 9th, and it's just gonna fly by. So I would suggest trying to plan them out right now and get your Halloween mazes in. And with that, I'm gonna sign off for this episode. Thank you for watching. I forgot how I stopped this. Hi there.